Yo guys, sorry, you already know that today I'm bringing you guys my battle for week 1 of the TBU, and this week we're taking on LaQuisha, otherwise known as Trev, of the Houston Toxapexans. We played him last season in the TBU, although he took over for another coach. This season he drafted his own team, a really terrifying team, I think a scarier team than mine, and that is coming from the person who has a Mega Mawile on their team. So, as I said kind of late in the draft analysis video, I'm not going to be doing team analysis videos for this season. Instead, I'm going to quickly run through what my Pokemon were, and then if you have any questions as to why I brought a certain set or why I didn't bring a certain mon, you can just ask them in the comments below, because I feel like that's going to be a lot more efficient than me going through, editing, rendering, uploading team analysis videos, just because I don't know, I just don't think that they are necessary. So if you guys are interested in that, just ask me. So as you can see, the team that I brought, Volcanion, which was a Shukaberry with max special attack modest, and then I think some speed and then some HP investment, especially defensive Serena, with synthesis toxic, Trop Kick and High Jump Kick. Did not have Rapid Spin. I had Rapid Spin on Cryogonal. I had especially defensive Mega Mawile with Sucker Punch, Iron Head, Play Rough, and Pain Split. Cryogonal had the Rapid Spin to recover, Freeze Dry, and Flash Cannon, and was a mix of speed, special attack, and HP, I believe. I had a Focus Sash Toxicroak with Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, Fake Out Bullet Punch, with mostly speed and attack, and then a physically defensive Vaporeon with like Wish Protect, Baton Pass, Scald. I did not bring Thundy Eye, I did not bring Crocodile, did not bring Uxie, did not bring Cottony, and I brought Volcanion off the bench, and I put Drampal on the bench. So Drampal and Tyrantrum were not able to be brought this week because they were on the bench. And you can see the 6 mons that Trev brought, so let's go ahead and get into the battle. Bam! I'm pretty sure the updated rules this season is you're supposed to keep your little intro less than 2 minutes, and I did that while explaining everything, so suck on that. Anyway, LaQuisha is going to start off with Kyurem-B. Now, there was a long process between when I built this team and to when the battle happened, so I actually forgot if I even had a planned lead, but I was so terrified of the Scolipede. So I just let out with Volcanion because I didn't see much on his team that wanted to switch into Volcanion. And there was a Kyurem-B. I didn't know what the Kyurem-B wanted to do, but I knew that it couldn't one-shot me, most likely. So I went for the Focus Blast to try and kill it, but he put up the Substitute. Thankfully, I hit the Focus Blast, and I am able to break the Substitute. So this is already looking not super great because it is Substitute, it is leftovers, and this thing is going to be difficult to take out. But as I was looking, at Trev's team, he really didn't have anything that wanted to switch into Volcanion. So I was just going to wait for him to attack me, or, I don't know what he's going to do. So I go ahead for the Flamethrower, because that was looking to do about half, definitely enough to break a Substitute, and I'm just going to keep staying in and make him do something, because he can't just sit here substituting forever. He has to do something else eventually. And, well, he does something else eventually. He goes for Roost, so he's getting himself a good amount of health, and it is being really annoying, but how it is. I go for that Flamethrower, and we see that it does not do 50%. It actually does a little bit less. So I was thinking that he was HP invested. Turns out he actually had a lot of special defense investment, which same effect, essentially. So he had some defense investment, whatnot, and he withdraws and goes into the Circuitry, which is pretty interesting. But he is able to live this Flamethrower, and but he is going to take a big chunk from it. So I don't want to stay in. I'm assuming that he's going to Volt Switch, so I just switched into the thing that I was just like, oh, if you Volt Switch, whatever. And I go into Serena. Knows me, the Serena. Yeah, I have nicknames and stuff. I didn't go over them in the draft analysis because I didn't have them at that point. But he actually just went straight for the Thunderbolt. So I was like, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm specially defensive. There's nothing he can have that is going to take me out. So I thought he was going to switch out or Volt Switch. And so I actually kind of overpredict a little bit because he goes for the Signal Beam. If I had just went for an attack, I would have taken him out, but I went for the Toxic thinking that he was going to switch out. I didn't think he was going to switch into Registeel, which was his, or Registeel or Scolipede. I guess he could have switched into Scolipede, but I don't know. I just went for Toxic thinking that he was going to try and switch into like maybe Togekiss or something. But yeah, that it doesn't work out for me because another Signal Beam actually will take me out. I debated a long time whether I should stay in expecting him to switch out, like expecting me to switch out, or whatever. but I figured that he's probably just going to go for another Signal Beam, and if he goes for anything else, especially defensive, Mawile is able to take it. So he does go for the Thunderbolt, which means that I could have stayed in and maybe Synthesis up or something like that, and I do get a big chunk of health taken out from my Mawile, which is going to be a Mega Mawile right now. And I took a long time on this turn too, because I thought he might switch out Preserve this for Death Fodder later, and so I almost clicked Pain Split to get health back on anything that comes in. But thankfully I did decide to go with the right play, and I went for Sucker Punch as he stayed in, possibly thinking that I might overpredict or just not needing this, thinking because I do have a lot of like especially defensive mons that I brought this week. But now he's going to go into the Registeel, and I could have probably Pain Split here, but I wanted to get Volcanion in because I assumed he was just going to set up Stealth Rocks, which he does, and then I'm assuming that he doesn't really have much that wants to take a Flamethrower, so I'm perfectly cool with going for that Flamethrower and just getting a huge chunk of damage off of this Registeel. So he actually stays in, which I was a little bit surprised about, but he goes for the Thunder Wave, which is fine. Volcanion is not super fast. I don't have a super speedy set. I had some speed investment for anything speed creeping it, but I didn't have a whole lot. So, and then he goes for the Earthquake, popping the Sugar Berry, which was less than ideal because I wanted to keep it intact in case the Scolipede had Earthquake. That was kind of what Volcanion was for. Turned out Volcanion ended up filling a lot more roles than expected, but I didn't mind the Thunder Wave in terms of the speed drop because everything on his team was pretty much faster than Volcanion anyway. If he would have brought some of his slower mons, it would have worked out a little bit more in my favor, but he didn't. But now he brings in the Scolipede, and I am terrified. At this point, an Earthquake actually cannot take me out unless he's like choice banded, and I'm thinking that he's just going to want to set up a substitute or whatnot. So I think I went for the Flamethrower, and yeah, I went for the Flamethrower that turn, and now he's behind a substitute, which really sucks. Which I don't think I actually went over the moves that Volcanion has. It was a Flamethrower, Focus Blast, Toxic maybe, and then this one that's going to be happening now, which I was super mad that he set up Spikes on me. I have 2 Rapid Spinners that I brought to this game. One of them only has Rapid Spin, but 2 of them were still alive, and he sets up Spikes on me. The audacity of this man to set up Spikes on me. I was very unhappy, but I roared him out because, you know, I got Flamethrowered, you know, I got fully paired on the turn that I was going to Flamethrower, and the percentages or whatever in his favor. Like, he was going to get the full pair eventually. He probably could have just kept substituting, and we'll go over a little bit about that Scolipede a little bit later. He actually switched out. I thought he might try and sub up with the Kyurem, so I went for the Roar, but I got fully paralyzed this time. So I went for the Roar again, but he was just in with Togekiss, and I actually didn't mind that much. I probably could have stayed in, but then I would be taking too much damage, so I actually just went into Vaporeon to kind of sponge any hit that this Togekiss was going to go for, and then I could probably wish up into something, you know, we'll make it from there. And he reveals the Fire Blast, expecting one of my other mons to come in, which they didn't. Maybe Kragonal, which did have some HP investment and is good, especially defensive in general. But no, I just went into Vaporeon, and I believe I go for the Wish this turn. As he goes for the Dazzling Gleam, also you'll notice that he revealed Life Orb, which is pretty terrifying. Offensive Togekiss is no fun, and Life Orb also just no fun. I thought about Baton passing this turn, because then I could get Switch Initiative, I could get a Wish into anything, hopefully something like the Mega Mawile, but I chickened out last second, and I just went for the Safe Protect, and I really should have Baton passed, because then I could have gotten a clean switch into Mega Mawile, would have gotten the Wish back, I probably would have been close to full health, and then, yeah, that would have been really nice. I was especially defensive, and I don't know if Kieran Black would have been able to take me out at that point, but then he would have had to switch into Mega Mawile, so that would have been fantastic, but, you know, it is what it is. I now have to switch into Kieran Black, which I kind of can't do. I still don't know his full moveset at this point, so I actually just switched into Volcanion, thinking that, I mean, he didn't attack it before, maybe he won't attack it now, I'm not entirely sure. And he goes for Toxic, so now I know Subaru's Toxic, he can only have one attacking move, so that's pretty interesting. Also, I mean, it worked out that I'm already paralyzed, so now Volcanion can't get Toxic. Which is cool, but now he reveals his final move, which was Earth Power, which is not fun. So he's going to take out Volcanion, which really sucks, because Volcanion was still looking pretty nice against his team, but not as essential with like Registeel gone and whatnot. So now I go into Cryogonal because I want to get these hazards off so I can kind of start dealing, so I can switch things around without having to worry about all the hazards and stuff. Thought he might predict this and go into the Gourgeist, but then I guess that wouldn't make sense because then I have an Ice move and I'm kind of on the upper hand. Then he just goes for the Substitute, which kind of puts him in the upper hand, which sucks a little bit. And then I think here is pretty much the downfall of this whole game. Spoiler alert, but I gotta remember what happens here. I switch out. Should not have done that. Probably should have just kept attacking, and I go into Toxicroak. I do have the Focus Sash. And I predicted him to go for Toxic, so I guess technically I did predict the Toxic that turn, and so I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. But then I'm like, he's probably just going to go for Earth Power, and I make a silly play. I go for Fake Out, but guess what? Substitutes can't be, like, flinched, so that was cool. I had Bullet Punch, and I probably could have just went for that to take out the Substitute, or I could have went for Drain Punch. So yeah, that didn't work out for me. So I believe this turn I just go for nope. I switch out, and I go back into Cryogonal because I'm just like, oh yeah, I Levitate. Earth Power can't hit me. Dumb. Kyurem Black has like that ability that makes my abilities not matter, and I kind of forgot about that. So that was 2 mental lapses like in a row, and at this point I was feeling pretty defeated. Must not have been training my brain in the Pokemon ways very nice enough, so I kind of just decided that I want to be able to leave this exchange with at least his Substitute gone. I think I wanted to save Cryogonal for later though, because Cryogonal was really nice against the Togekiss, was really nice against the Gourgeist, and then this, and it didn't take out the Scolipede, but it still could have like done damage. Well, no, I think I was at the point that I could have gotten no code, but well, I thought I would have. Cryogonal actually, now that I'm Toxic, that probably wouldn't have, but Cryogonal was actually in a spot where it could have almost taken on the rest of Trev's team, almost. But either way, at this point, I'm just getting damage off with Flash Cannon, and that special defense investment of his is really coming in clutch. As you see, it's doing like, what, 30 to 40%, and he's essentially going to stall, like, not stall out, well, I guess he is kind of stalling out my team, because I just don't have enough to hit him reliably. The things that are faster just aren't cutting it, and then the things that are slower have been worn down to the point that they're not good. So I switch out because I figure if Earth Power is the only move, then at least I can maybe get like some good hits with Serena. I have High Jump Kick, and if I can just hit enough of them, I'll be all right. If he sees any of them coming in or switches into Gourgeist, I am kind of screwed. So my kind of last ditch effort is to just try and kick him with High Jump Kick as much as I can, and then see if I can just put a dent and then maybe make a comeback from there. And he's going to Toxic me, which I figured was coming, and I'm going to attempt to break his Substitute by going for the High Jump Kick, and once all this stuff goes out of the way, you will see that I miss and I die. So that was just kind of like rubbing salt in the wound. I don't really think that changed the tide of battle, but essentially at this point, I kind of just gave up. There was no point in trying to stall out this Kyurem Black. Well, first, timer stalling is super dumb, and second off, I didn't really have anything to reliably kill this Kyurem Black. So, this whole rest of the game is me basically sending everything out to be like, hey, like, kill me, please. That's all I'm really doing. I guess technically, I am attacking him, so I'm just kind of like maybe hoping for some super crits or something like that. But basically, I've essentially given up this game because there's no way that I can take out this Kyurem Black. There's just actually no way. All of the ways that could have happened just aren't viable anymore. Without a substitute, Toxicro's Drain Punch can do a lot. Without the substitute, I thought Flash Cannon was going to do a little bit more. Maybe I should have invested more in offense. Volcanion could have done a lot with Focus Blast, but Volcanion's dead. So there's just, a lot of stuff, and this is just a really slow, painful draw to the end of this game, which Kyurem Black is just going to stay in and kill the rest of my team. I'm just going to say that now, so that way I can just kind of start talking about things that went wrong here. And I truly just think that this game was lost at the team building. I think that his team was really awkward for me. I was really scared of the Scolipede, and I really thought it was going to run through my team. Turns out his Scolipede didn't even have any attacking moves, which makes me so angry. Not at him, but just because I prepped so much for that thing. I was so terrified of that thing that it's hard. It's bad to say that I overlooked a Kyurem Black, but it's like, I mean, I didn't know how else to prep for Kyurem Black, and I don't know. I built more defensive to try and switch into all of his threats, and he just built more bulky to kind of outlive my stuff while still having the offense that kind of took advantage of my team. So that's what I mean when I think this at the start of the game, this match was already lost for me. I truly do believe that because, yeah, I just don't see a way that I could have. I didn't bring enough to take out this Kyurem Black set. If I would have built more offensively, maybe there would have been a chance, but that falls back on me for the way I built this team, and it's a rough way to start the season. I am going to be starting off with a 4-0 loss, but honestly, I think Trev's team is probably the best out of anybody's, so this should be the hardest match that we have the entire season. So yeah, I think that with all that being said, I truly do believe that this match was lost, right at the beginning of the game when I just didn't team build as well as he did, and yeah, I missed out on a couple of Pokemon mechanics, which happens. I don't think they affected that much. They might have even helped end the game quicker. But yeah, so with that being said, I think I'm just going to end it off here. If you have any other questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'm just going to fast forward the rest of the gameplay, so that way you can just see the end of the battle, but I don't have anything more to say. Yeah, that was this battle. I will see you guys next week when we take on Alex, aka 1Z Bennett, and his Birmingham Spritzy. Super excited for that battle. Hopefully I can make it a better one than this. I feel like this was not a super well played game, so I do want to do better next week, and thankfully time is on our side, so we're going to do that next week. So thank you guys for watching, enjoy the rest of the battle, and then until next week guys, stay sly.